If you're up for learning life lessons from unusual places, then this episode is for you. This is the Enjoy Life podcast. If you feel overwhelmed or stuck and you want to break free so that you can find your power to take action to achieve your goals and enjoy life, then you're in the right place. Welcome, my friend. I am glad that you're here. My name is Nick Maisie, and it's my desire to be your guide through this material so that you can choose your mindset, goals, and actions so you can guide your life to go in the direction that you want to go and enjoy it. Now let's dive right in. Hello and welcome to Enjoy Life podcast. My name is Nick Maisie, and as always, I am thrilled that you're here and joining in and getting ready to take action on what we're going to talk about today. Today, like I mentioned at the very beginning, we're talking about learning life lessons from unusual places, or just really just paying attention to the different things that are going on, so that we can learn all that we can learn, and we can improve and take action, so we can guide our lives to go where we want them to go. I want you to guide your life to go where you want your life to go. That's what all this podcast material and everything is here for. So let's just dive into today's episode. We're talking about learning a life lesson from an unusual place. Well, it's not terribly unusual, but I have one of those Garmin watches, a little, exercise smartwatch thing, and it has a neat feature. It's got a neat feature that I'm going to tell you about. But the face value, I really don't think that I got much benefit from it until I really started to pay attention to what it was telling me to do. See, it has this feature that, and I still haven't even figured out how often or what makes it go off, but it will buzz and tell me to move. It just tells me to move. It tells me to move. I guess I don't know if it's about sitting still for so long, but it seems like even on days that I'm active, it still will go off and tell me to move. And then I started to realize how powerful this little feature was. I need to move my body. I do. Nothing's going to happen if I stay still and if I don't do anything. Absolutely. Things are going to happen. Nothing related to me going taking my life to go where I want it to go. I'm going to get more lazy. It's like that whole saying, a body at rest tends to stay at rest. The longer I sit still, the easier it is for me to keep sitting. So I need to move. But we can also apply this to our lives in general and our goals. If you want to achieve your goals, you got to move. And more nowadays, especially with a lot more people even working from home, it's easier just to not move our bodies as much. But if we want to achieve goals, if we want to have any sort of progress, we got to move. You're not going to make any progress without movement. But it's more than just achieving your goals and taking action. If you want to have fun, and enjoy life, then try moving more. It does an amazing thing to kind of get the blood flowing a little bit. It can help you to become an active participant in your life by simply moving, taking action, finding reasons to get up and move around. Especially if you got to sit down a whole lot, get up and move. Try to move some. I don't know if I'm going to keep count of how many times I'm going to say the word move throughout this episode, but it's going to be a lot. And I'm not going to dive in deep for any of these reasons why we all should move our bodies more. But I do have a few that I want to share with you. And that, like I said, the first one, if you want to achieve your goals, you got to take action. You got to move. Nothing's going to happen if you don't do anything. If you want to enjoy life more and have fun, move, engage, be an active participant, move your body. But it's also for our mind too. It's for the mind and the body. Getting a little bit of movement can help clear the mind. Especially if we're getting a little bit of movement outside, getting some fresh air, can be great for your health. Our bodies were not supposed to stay still. We need to move. It helps clear the mind too. If you're stuck on a problem that you're trying to figure out and you're getting a little frustrated with it, then get up and move, walk around. This is something I find all the time. Like when I'm at the office, I got to make sure that I'm regularly standing up and walking around. I'll go do a loop around the parking lot, and it might take me just 2 minutes. And I'm coming right back to my desk, and I get back cranking at my work. But I tell you what, it's good. A little bit of blood flow is just about as good for my brain as it is for my body, so that I can get back to focusing on what I need to do by having a little bit of a shift. I get a little bit of a change of scenery, and then I can jump right back at it more refreshed. If you're stuck on a problem, If you're stuck, getting frustrated, trying to figure something out, or not able to make progress on something you're working on or one of your goals you want to achieve, try moving. When we get up and we shift our body, it's good for our mind, our body. It helps us to get things done. It helps us to enjoy life more. All those things are true. But moving can sometimes help us to also see things from a different perspective. There's a neat exercise that some people do, and it's about actually writing down the problem on a sheet of paper and putting it on the ground and then walking around it, like physically looking at the problem from a different perspective. And sometimes that can help us to see things that we didn't see before. Actually changing our body position can help change our mind. Sometimes getting up and moving can actually help us to figure out problems that we don't see the solutions to when we're sitting there looking at it from the same direction. So move. Moving might actually help you to change that perspective and find the solution that you're looking for. All right, now, I've just told a whole bunch of reasons why I believe we all need to make sure we're moving, to achieve our goals, to have fun and enjoy life, for our mind and our body, to solve the problems that were challenging us and we can't really seem to get past. So all those are good reasons, in my opinion, to get up and move. But what if you don't feel like moving? Have you ever been sitting there just kind of lounging and you just don't have the motivation? You're dreading doing something, you're putting it off, you're procrastinating or anything, and you just don't have the motivation to get up and go after it. Well, what do you think in this episode I'm going to suggest that you do? Move. Get up and move. Motivation won't hit you on the couch. It will not. In fact, it tends to show up right after you do. After you do. You got to show up first, and then motivation will show up. It's like a lot of times when I'm running off to the gym, I don't feel motivated to go to the gym. I'd say about 95% of the time. Maybe 90% of the time. I don't really feel like going to the gym and exercising. But there's a neat little thing, and I figured this out over the years, and when I really truly focus on this one thing, it really makes it easier for me. I know that after I start exercising, after I get to the gym and I get into it a little bit and I'm moving my body and I'm getting that blood flowing, and after I get into it, after I show up, the motivation comes. And then a little bit into my exercise, man, I'm glad that I got to the gym. I'm glad that, or if I'm at the house, or if I'm going for a walk or a jog or a hike or anything outside, it's after the fact, after I show up, the motivation hits, and then it's great, and then I'm thrilled that I started. But prior to, while I'm not moving, I don't feel like going out and doing a bunch of exercise and movement. But I know. And I want you to know this, that motivation shows up after you do. Don't expect for it to find you on the couch. It's not going to, boom, motivation hits you right in the face on the couch, and all of a sudden you got to jump up and start getting a lot of exercise. No. But if you show up and take action and start to move, then the motivation most likely is going to follow, and you're going to be glad that you did. Oh, even if motivation doesn't hit you with like this surge after you start taking action, you're still probably going to be most likely glad that you took action, because you're going to make some progress and you're going to do something that's going towards your goals and the life that you want. And that's what I want for you. And making yourself, even if you don't feel like it, but making yourself take some action can be a great way to begin to push your life in the direction that you want your life to go, so that you can enjoy life and live the life that you want. So today's message, get up and move. As always, you don't have to do it all you can't do it all at once. You don't even have to take large leaps. Small, tiny steps can help get you moving going forward. That's it. Just get up, take a small, tiny step, and repeat, and you can make progress towards your goals and the life that you want. And that's what I want for you and your life. As always, thank you for listening. That's what I have for today's episode. If you want more, you can always go to nickmazy.com. If you know somebody that needs to hear the message of just get up and move to take and go toward the life that you want, then please share this episode with them. Or if you really want to make a big impact for very little bit of time, you can just rate and review this podcast on whatever platform you're listening to it on. Apple Podcast is a great one. It reaches a whole lot of people. But wherever you're listening to this podcast, just rate and review it, and it will help a lot more people find it. All right. Thank you for listening. Take care, and can't wait to talk to you again soon.